like any good things in the world, CRM systems have challenges too. What happens is when we implement systems like this, there's too much focus on information gathering, like, gather more, 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 more. But, when exactly are you going to get insight? So there's a point where you should stop. We call it as analysis paralysis. So, like, you just need to know, like, okay, fine, we have this. Let's move on to the next step. And it's an iterative process. When we come back, when we get more data, we can keep incorporating more data as we do the analysis. So that's how the process should be. So the people tend to focus more on information gathering. Second challenge is data integration is complex. As I said, data is all sitting in different system, like say social media channel, a complaint management system, and then it could be like a paperback, or it could be anything. And a same customer name can be represented in various ways in three different systems, right? First name, last name, first name, initial, first name, etc. So we need to integrate the system into one. That's quite a complex task. That's a major task when you implement CRM systems. Okay. So next is getting the insights at the right time. Okay, that's the most important aspect. That's a big challenge because you have all this information. You need to have the right resource and skills to do that. Hmm? For example, the company suddenly the CEO calls for an emergency mode board meeting at 11 a.m. You need to have the insights at the right time, sitting on like all the reports has to be on the desk at that time. There's no use if you produce the report at the end of the day. It needs to be there at the right time. That's important, and that's quite challenging as well. Without right system, without right technology, and without right skills and resources, it's a very challenging task. Finally, lack of top management support. So big businesses are happy with implementing it, but it's a large, huge project, and over time priorities change. So do the top management support as well. So when it drops, the success rate also drops. So there should always be top management support. Finally, the costs. Yes, what are the costs? It depends on the vendors. So when I say vendors, you can buy a CRM system at any level. It can be a simple system, or it could be a complex system, which has, just out of the box support for artificial intelligence, etc. So one of the thing, the major CRM systems coming out of, Google, Amazon, like all these people have implemented really complex CRM systems. So the total cost of ownership is you acquire the system, you have to implement the system. Okay, there's a cost for implementation, and there's a cost for support and maintenance as well. So you have to consider all these costs. Next, we are moving on to some of the strategies. Okay, so implementing CRM itself is a strategic action. Okay, so this sits one level below the business strategy, which the business strategy is to improve business growth, brand value, customer experience, etc. So we are now going to look at the customer experience strategy. How are we going to use CRM systems for this? You can get rich insight to influence customer or consumer decision making. For example, this is a cycle, as you see. First, you trigger the sensory experience of a customer. It could be sight, touch, smell, sound, taste, etc. For example, to me, when I even think of Mysore sandal soap, it reminds me of my grandmother because she always used the soap. So to me, more than the aroma is just more than a delightful aroma. To me, it means I'm feeling secure. So it's much more, customer experience is very deep. It could be emotional as well. So that will trigger an emotional feeling, right? And then I start thinking about it. So now, when I do this presentation and talk about it and think, I'm just thinking, okay, next time when I visit an Indian grocery shop here, I should buy that soap. Yes, that's the thought. And then lifestyle and behavior. This influence is the lifestyle and behavior as well, how we use the product, and then we share it with the relationship. Next is the relationship. We're all social animals as human beings. We like to share, we like to show off, we like to say like, this is something good, do you want to try it? Those kind of experiences, good or bad, whatever it is. So we have to tap in all this human behavior in order to influence consumer decision making. So that as a whole is experience. Okay, so we can use this to differentiate your brand for brand recognition, loyalty, and improve customer lifetime value. All right. So this is one. The next is customer engagement strategy. This, I think most of us know. We're all like, surrounded with this kind of experiences. There'll be live chats, you get emails and pamphlets and etc. And on top of it is the social media. Okay, that itself is a separate strategy. So there's Facebook, there's TikTok, there's Twitter and Google and everything, around social media. So why do we use this customer engagement tool? We can use it for, like, nowadays they use it for three main things. One is brand promotion, one is to have targeted marketing campaigns, and most importantly, content generation. Okay, it's not nowadays, it's not just the business creating content, the consumers create content. You don't have to do anything. People just buy and share it on Instagram, like, I bought this iPhone, I bought this, I'm eating lace chips sitting, I'm working from home, I'm sitting, I'm eating this. That itself, that is the content for the business, right? Similar to that. Next strategy we are going to look at is social CRM. As I said, social CRM itself is a separate domain. Okay. So we know about social media. Everyone knows. I'm not going to explain that. So what's the importance? What's the advantage of using it? Is it's a two-way communication, right? It's not just the business talking to the customer, but the customer is also able to communicate. I would say it's a lot of a network communication there. Okay, but that's not on books, but I'm saying it's more of a networked communication. The customers are nowadays empowered. Okay, they are empowered and they are all networked together, so it's easy for people to share their experience, good or bad. So with the social media CRM, it's more customer oriented, not just business oriented. So it's like customer focus is more important there. And it's omni-channel, meaning multiple channels. So I could sell your product, do marketing campaigns through, Facebook, through a website, through a radio, through a TV web, to Netflix, YouTube advertisements, etc. There could be multiple channels to do the marketing campaigns, and then this thereby you get a wider reach. Okay, it has become so easy nowadays because all these social media channels themselves, they come out with out of the box analytical solutions. You don't need to sit and implement them separately. You can see the richer insights. Just, we have Google Analytics, you have Facebook Analytics, etc. So the users are same. You can do online campaigns, identify opportunities, personalized marketing. Most important thing I would like to touch is identify and reduce churn. So when you see a negative comment or a negative sentiment that's prevailing in your marketing campaign, that's the time the business should proactively go and check and revisit their strategy and see what has not worked, and then change their strategy, right? So that it helps in identifying the churn before the churn happens. Moving on. Okay, now I've talked about the CRM analytical techniques and, some of the strategies. We're going to look into marketing analytic techniques. So why do we need marketing analytical techniques? It's, you go and have Google Analytics, go to your website, open the Google Analytics, you can see. But then that's not enough. It's just a web analytical tool. It will measure your site performance. It will measure the marketing measures, performance measures based on your site performance. But that is not the entire marketing is doing, right? You will have lots of other marketing channels, lots of other marketing activities that need to be measured as well. It's more complex. So to find the consolidated numbers for all marketing activities and the metrics, we need to have different techniques. So what happens nowadays, bigger organizations implement some marketing analytical tools. For example, one of the main commonly used one, at least here in Australia, is Adobe Marketing Cloud. Okay, it's called Adobe Marketing Cloud. Because it has support for more mature artificial intelligence in it, which can easily give you some of the metrics without having to hire a data scientist and let them sit and do all the work. So there are four techniques, main techniques. There are lots more. I'm just touching upon four. One is text analysis and attribution. marketing mix model, reach, cost, quality. We'll touch upon these topics in the coming slide. Okay, so businesses use a combination of these techniques to get the best results. Just not one is not enough. For a simple business, maybe text analysis is sufficient. Let's move to the text analysis part. This is a very simple, age-old technique, but with social CRM, it has become more mature, and we get more richer insights. Okay, what are the textual sources for a business? Is like, it could be news, it could be social media, it could be a website, research article, could be email, complaint logs, anything that's textual. Okay, and most important is enterprise social media, which most organizations miss, which is the voice of employee. Okay, we need the employees in the organization who are working in the organization must believe in their own services and products. That is also important. So the organization, the top management should also listen to the voice of the employee. Okay, to shape their strategy better. So how this text analysis from all this data is used, for what it's used is to get insights on the voice of customer. Okay, what are the customer talking about today about our product? So about the market research, what are our competitors doing today, or like what will they be doing tomorrow or day after or the next week? Okay, and then customer service, what's the customer service like? Is it good? Do we need to improve, etc.? And then we can assess risk. You can predict and forecast demand and supply. And then with all this information, you can also shape your strategy. Therefore, you can make effective decision for your enterprise. Okay. So some of the methods here are sentiment analysis, which is basically getting the sentiments. Opinion mining is similar. It's just that, technically the algorithms are different, and you have like graph theory and Bayes and reasoning. Leave that. It's more kind of a data scientist terms, scientist terms, I should say. So these are some of the methods. We'll only look on sentiment analysis today, which is quite simple to understand. And the reason we are talking about this is you should know these things are available, so that when you go into a workforce, you will know like, oh, these are several options that are there that I can tap into, and you can hire the right resource to do that, right? Next technique is attribution. So you see the diagram here, like you have the market conditions, and the blue dots are the market actions, and then the gray dots are the competitive activities. Okay, so the customer response not only depends on what marketing activities the business does, it also depends on the marketing conditions, the competitive activities, and could be many more. Okay, so this diagram represents some of the factors that influence customer response. This analytics engine, out of the box engine, which you can implement anything that comes, it ships with this capability. What it does is it takes the attribution rate. When I say attribution rate, it is a quantification of the contribution of each of the marketing activity or each of this factor for a particular customer response. Okay, maybe it could be a store visit, or it could be just a chat about how this looks interesting, I'd like to buy one. Could be just that, or someone actually going and purchasing, or someone just searching it on web, like looking at an advertisement. I would like go and search on website, oh, what's this product, what are the description of the product, what does it come with, what does it ship with, it has a box or not, etc., etc. Okay, so these are some of the customer responses. What is the advantage of using this technique, attribution, is it's not just quantifies the contribution of one channel, but it will also help you measure the impact of one channel over the other. Okay, for example, there's a print ad, a boy standing in a bus stand and giving the pamphlet. Okay, and there's a cost for that activity, right? And then seeing that pamphlet, somebody would be say, I'm there, got the pamphlet, and then I look at the website. I take my mobile phone, go into the website and search for it. So the pamphlet has impacted. So there is a factor there, right? So that is called an assist ratio. Okay, so this technique allows you to measure the assist ratio as well. So once we have all these factors, it's easy to simulate scenarios even before the market is responding. You can just simulate these factors in that engine, in that analytical engine, that system that you have implemented, to see, okay, what will happen if the unemployment rate, for example, the government RBA is going to talk about the interest rates today. Here in Australia, it's every Tuesday on first Tuesday of the month. Okay, 2 o'clock they will do. Okay, what is going to happen? There will be definitely some kind of market fluctuations there, be it stock market or be it other factors, depending on the product you're selling. What is going to happen, right? So we can actually assess that. Okay, what is going to be the customer response, and how am I going to change my strategy based on it? So you can simulate the scenarios and do real-time adjustments as well. Real-time adjustments, I mean, using this technique. Next is marketing mix model. It's this one is a more complex technique, and it involves more statistical analysis, like with many variables. That's why it's called complex econometric analysis, to evaluate the marketing activities based activities of outbound. It's just outbound communication based on the return on investment. Okay, so this technique needs lots of historical data. It's not just the current data, not the real-time data or live feeds that coming from websites, cookies, etc. It needs a lot of historical data. So the CRM system is very important. You should have at least 5 to 10 years of data in order to implement this technique. So that's one of the things that you should know. So this technique also reveals the interaction effects of different marketing channels, not just one channel, and longitudinal effect of a customer. Okay, it's over a lifetime. 5 years back, a person has bought this product. Will he buy this product after 5 years? Say person has bought a car like 10 years back, is he going to come back to my showroom again? You can identify the effects of this. Okay, that's longitudinal effects. And it also statistically links investments on marketing to sales factor directly. Like it will tell you whether this the investment that I've made on this particular marketing activity, has it influenced sales, etc. Okay, and more importantly, you can also quantify the competitors' behavior, the season, and various other variables that you have used for this econometric analysis. You can quantify them. Okay. What are the limitations here? You need to have, as I already mentioned, historical data, which is high quality. Historical data is very important, and a single touch point measurement of single touch point is not supported. For example, just a website or just one. We don't need to implement such a complex model to identify that. There are much simpler things. Okay, so that we call it as a limitation, but to me, it's really not a limitation. The next one is reach, cost, quality. So what is the cost per actual reach to a customer? I'm doing a lot of marketing activities. I'm spending a lot of money. My business is spending a lot of money on these activities. What is the actual cost to reach one customer? No, that is one of the factor or one of the performance metrics that we need to measure. So there's techniques for these as well. This is a concept here. So like you see the box that says number 1, which has efficiency, gives the total cost. And then how do you identify one particular person in a target group? What is the cost there? That's cost 1 reach. Okay, then you have to measure the effectiveness. You get the feedback from the customer. Often we get feedback surveys saying like, how do you know about us? Why after buying a product, why did you come to us? How do you know about us? Is it through website? Is it through leaflet, or did you through a friend, etc., etc.? So that is another ranking. So we use all these factors to calculate cost per actual reach. Okay, in this technique there is no support for assist ratio. You cannot determine assist ratio. It's just one channel. How do I reach, and what is the factor there? That's all. So there's a lot of assumptions here. Moving on. So now that we have discussed about the the techniques, the strategies that CRM systems use for business growth and brand promotion, etc., I'll talk about how Audi, which is a European car, in the last decade it has entered into the prestige car market. used CRM systems, implemented CRM systems to promote brand value. How did it enter into this, prestige car group? Previously, it used to be Mercedes Benz and BMW, etc. Audi is now in the prestige car group as well. Uh, it's got a Volkswagen engine, but the shell is different, and still it's a prestige car, right? So there's a lot of marketing there. Audi had some issues initially. Okay, I'll jump into the point straight away as we are running out of time. There are like 93 websites overall globally with 40 different languages. So how will you get brand consistency? The user experience for a customer in US would be different for a customer in Tamil Nadu, would be different for a customer in Spain, etc. And then local web teams and dealers they will have to develop websites in their own language. It has to be customized to that region as well, right? So we have to empower the local teams as well. We can't just say, okay, I'm going to, this is the template globally, you have to use this no matter what. No, that's not going to work. We need to have a good seamless experience, but it should also be customized to that region. Okay, where the customers are, it has to be customized to the region. So that's one of the issue. The next challenge they had were like, how do I integrate all these applications so that customers wherever they are in the world, they should have good experience, seamless experience, same experience. I have to achieve that. So this is the issue that the business was, or I could say this is the need that business had at the moment, at the point. So there is a lot of system inefficiencies. The complaint management system was not efficient at all. The customer support team didn't have enough information about, like somebody talks about a fault, they didn't have the knowledge about what that actually even means. So the knowledge base was not there, and the systems did not have analytical capabilities to make right decisions. Okay, these were the system inefficiencies. So the next is the lack of resource at the right time. As I said, it's not just important to have everything. You should have it at the right time. You should be able to get the insight at the right time. Okay. For example, say the showroom models were not there. They will just have the catalogs and videos, but the model is not there for a test drive. Okay, or the pricing information won't be available. Okay, the head office, the headquarters has to tell this is the price in this country for this currency, etc. That was not planned well as well. And then a lengthy rollout was planned for this entire implementation. So these are all some of the issues Audi had. So what did they do to solve is, okay, the first strategy was, I need omni-channel marketing. So one of the thing was, again, the CRM comes into play here, right? So they preferred something called Suligent. It's a European product. So using this, they could create a highly personalized customer engagement, okay, which I will tell you how they actually nurture the deep connection to the car and the brand. It's a car, right? Like a person has to sit in the car, has to have the feel of the car and have to experience the brand. That was the reason why they used the omni-channel platform. Excuse me. Next is the other strategies they wanted to target was, they collected the personal data of people. What are the preferences and buying intention? Do they want to buy, or do they just want to test drive and post a video on YouTube? So all these things are there. What is the attitudinal characteristic towards the engine? For some, I'm not kind of discriminating people, but boys usually they like the sound of the engine, the sound, to hear the sound, and how interested are they in the actual technology and innovation. Those people are very curious about what's new in this Audi car, which is not in BMW, or which is not in Ferrari, etc. Or what's new here. And then for this, they created an algorithmic model, which is a computer model, to score the response. How do they respond? How do they behave when people talk about the car, when they see the picture, when they experience the drive, all those things. And they scored each of this. Was it the wow factor there, or they didn't really like it? What was there? They scored it. And then okay, each person should be targeted with a message that resonates for them. Okay, for a person a car could be just a luxury factor, for someone it could be more of a thrill factor, I want a sporty model, etc. So the message should resonate when they send out, personal mail campaigns. So next is the test drive strategy. That's where the customer experience comes into play. They didn't have lots of cars to send like all around the globe to do the test drives. What they did was they developed an online site where people can virtually configure their car, what they need, what color, how it should look like, etc. All the accessories and things, and then they would allow people to have a virtual test drive, with virtual reality thing. And then once they were in the virtual reality setup and they're actually experiencing the virtual the test drive, there will be a lot of questions for them in a way that's not very interactive, and then the response will be feeded directly, like, how, are they laughing, are they smiling, what's the factor, how are they holding the steering, like all these things, they get the feedback and then it goes into a database. By that, each of this behavior is being scored. Customer behavior is code, or I should say lead behavior. They're not customers yet. Deep. So with all these things, they were able to create a deep customer engagement. Okay. Based on this, they profiled those people who did the test drive. They created VIP invitation campaigns, but from this they know, like, okay, they have more tendency to buy the car, and they create the VIP invitation campaigns for an annual motor show. This happens for every brand, luxury brand cars. So, um, uh, so once they sit in the seat, they will have a very unique experience, okay, because they have custom configured, they have configured their own car. So that's a rich insight for the business itself. How do people like to feel inside the car? What do they like, etc. Okay, so the result was, after doing all these things, after implementing the system, the result was nearly 10% of the people who visited just the site, they actually took the test drive, they configured and took the test drive, and more than 10,000 of the leads were actually bought for the actual test drives. Then they bought the car and they were all brought in for in the annual motor show for the test drives. So I assume at least 50% of them would have converted to customers. That data is not available from Audi. So now coming to the analytics. Okay, now we saw omni-channel platform, the marketing platform, how they implemented. Coming to the CRM part now. So what is the need? They needed to do business growth. They needed to have higher customer satisfaction rate, and the existing system was not efficient. The complaint management system was also not efficient. The reason was people didn't have the knowledge. Say somebody calling the service desk and saying, like, I have such and such experience with my car, it's not working, there was a rattling noise. This person sitting there in the customer desk should have the knowledge what could be the possible problem, what could be, or what could be the solution for it. That knowledge was lacking. So somehow they need to build that knowledge base so people can just go in. And someone raised a hand. Abhinaya, any questions?
Madam, we can reserve the questions to the end, madam. You can proceed.
End. Okay. All right. So yes, with all this, the problem was the knowledge base was not there. Okay. So what Audi did was they implemented a CRM system from SAP. Okay, and then they built the business warehouse, which is again the foundation for analytical engine to run. And SAP HANA is another technology where we can get real-time insights. We'll forget the technology part. This is the system they used. Okay, and they created the knowledge base called Kuba. Okay, this has the consolidated database for Audi, the entire CRM system. It connects with the problems, the complaints, what are the solutions. So somebody asks for a particular question or a problem, they type into the knowledge base, the knowledge comes, just like Google is for us, for everything we reach Google. Similarly, Audi created a knowledge base called Kuba for Audi. So what was the result? Result was they had complete view of a customer. They have a strong foundation for analytics. So it was easy. Once the data is all consolidated, it's quite easy to get the insight. It's just the data and the quality of the data that's important. So this improved the performance for reactive CRM. When I say reactive CRM, and there is a problem, they were able to go and dig into and find what the problem was and react. Okay. And it was capable for proactive CRM when the Cuba matures, when more and more knowledge is being gathered. Proactive is if something is going to happen, if a market condition change, what will happen? So the company, the business was able to predict. Okay, this is called predictive analytics. So when the CRM is able to do that, we call it as a proactive CRM. We can take proactive measures. And there was also potential for selective CRM. Selective is you can target a group. You know, a particular group of customers are going to say, for example, there's a huge multinational corporation, they're going to have buy a fleet of cars. That information, the CRM give you insights about it, will get insight about it, and then you can target and specifically this particular organization, and so that's called potential for selective CRM. Then is okay, once they had the knowledge base, they had the omni-channel marketing, they had the knowledge base, and now the marketing analytics. Again, the challenge, I'm going to say the same thing again. Believe there's 93 websites, 40 different languages, different, the dealers were having local web teams, etc. So the problem was they need to have a single marketing analytical tool to provide a seamless experience, for which they used Adobe Marketing Cloud. So there are like two tools there, experience manager and analytics solution. Using this, what they were able to do was they were able to manage the content seamlessly, no matter what language, what region you are. The content would be same, the experience would be the same for a person visiting a dealership in Tamil Nadu, a dealership in Spain, a dealership in Europe or Germany, etc. And then the digital assets were all managed centrally. Basically, the organization had control over it, and the reports and analytics were quite easy to produce. So this is how Audi used CRM systems, marketing analytics, and the knowledge base to improve their brand value. So now you can see in this 10 years time, it has stepped into the luxury brand car model, the car market, luxury car market. So here are the results. Okay. They have consistent branding with a centralized asset management, digital asset management. So Audi configurator is used by 90% of the consumers. So it's there once they developed. So it reduced the time to market, time to market with the web page creation. There was no need to frequently go and change things, and it all involves cost. So there's a lot of analytical options which gives insights to predict sales in advance. So thereby it's a very efficient marketing platform was there. So for this is as I said, I'm going to talk about sentiment analysis, which is quite a simple one of the simplest analytical techniques. Okay, for example, say as you can see on 25th of February 2014, okay, Audi USA posted this car. What do you see? A beautiful car in a beautiful scenic location. We all like it, don't we? I'd like to drive that car. So see how many likes they had. They had like nearly 23,000 likes and 1,521 shares on the same day. See, it happened on the same day, right? Audi lover, the top comment was Audi lover for the life. That is a positive sentiment, right? It's a positive sentiment. I'll go to the next one. So this is actually video. I'm not going to play the video, but as you can see, it's a black background. A man is sitting, and they have the video where it shows a man experiencing the drive just with the facial expressions. That's the campaign. So this was posted on 30th of April. Okay, that one was February. This is 30th of April. There were only 1,003 likes compared to 23,000 likes, and there were only 81 shares. And see the top comment. It's a negative comment. Okay, it's nice to have heartwarming stories, but this commercial has nothing to do with the car. People want to see the car for more than 3 seconds. Come on, it's an Audi. Give it credit too. So that's the top comment that's coming up. So that sentiment is not positive, right? So that means this campaign is failing, right? They have to be proactive. Just because they spent money on this advertisement doesn't mean they have to keep it for a longer time. So what? So the sentiment analysis and the opinion mining tool will warn you of these kind of campaign failures. You see the graph here. On 30th of the number of clicks and likes and comments were high during April, just high during April for each of the comment that happened on 17th and 18th. There was another campaign that happened on 23rd and 24th. There was another one that's on 30th, which we saw with just a video that dropped, that dropped. The number of likes, comments dropped. It was low, 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 etc. Until they put another, they proactively measured this. They say, oh, this campaign is failing. It has backfired. We need to change it. And then in May, they are doing another post. Let's see what it is. Here you go. It's the new black. They are saying this orange sports car. Look at number of likes and number of shares, right? So they rolled back to the traditional approach. So they tried a new idea, it didn't work, so they went back. So this is how businesses can use sentiment analysis and opinion mining. Right. So what does Audi claim? They claim that Adobe Analytics has empowered our team. We can make data-driven decisions, blah, blah, blah. And then there's another person who's the head of CRM says, after implementing that CRM, it has greatly improved our success rate on marketing and targeting group selection, or personalized marketing, etc. You can read it. I'm not going to read it for you. It gives a holistic CRM approach. That's an important thing. So when you create a strategy, it has to be a holistic one, that you have to see all the different parts of business, how it's going to impact each and every part of the business, and then do the strategy in order to achieve the goal. Okay. Finally, real-time data and advanced analytics with capabilities for customer segmentation, profiling, lifecycle management made the omni-channel marketing a success. So what we see, the marketing analytics is a success. The CRM system implemented with a good knowledge base has become a success, and the marketing analytics platform has also given them a success. So this is a very good and excellent example of how the CRM system has to be implemented with all the other parts, with the knowledge base, with the marketing analytics, sitting all together, working cohesively for our, for the business goals. This comes to the end of the case study. These are the references just in case if you want to know where the data is coming from. Okay. Before going to questions, I will show you, as I promised, I will show you how to do sentiment analysis. Bhagya, do I have some time to do that?
Yes, of course, ma'am. You can take your time.
Okay. Okay. Here you go. This is called Tone Analyzer from IBM. Anyone can try it. It's for free. Okay. Just trying is free. If you want to implement it for your organization, it's going to cost you. Okay. So you can make a note of this, of this URL, tone-analyzer-demo.ng.bluemix.net. If you type in, you will get that. So there's a sample use case. What today I've chosen a very general topic. It's currently in trend. Tamil Nadu government changes name of 1,118 places. Coimbatore is now called Coimbatore. I'm from Coimbatore. So I'm like, oh, that's nice. I'm not sure whether people like it or not. So I was quite intrigued to see what is the general reaction of people? Okay. So what I can do is, because it's just an example, I'll just copy and paste. In actual business, what happens is this social media channel will be integrated with the CRM or analytical knowledge base. Oh, come on, go. I'll just put Control A and Control C. And then here, I'm going to take off this example. I'm going to paste it. Oh, I don't want this. Why did I? Oh, sorry guys, I'm just going to go back. Just say Control C and Control B. and then say click on analyze. Let's see what the sentiment is for Tamil Nadu for this. It says joy. That's kind of not. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Didn't copy it well. It's taking a bit of time. Experimentation is always good. Just have to be a bit more patient, Nitya. Copy, copy, copy. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. I hope I'm the right page. Okay. Let's just stop here and say Control C. Hopefully this time I got the data right. Okay, here. Don't want this. Just the side notes, I believe. Okay, I'll just remove this part and then say analyze. Says joy. Interesting. Tamil Nadu has turned this to joy today. No. Okay, that is a bit odd. I'm not getting the data right. Bear with me for 2 minutes. I'm getting it. Is it changing? I see. You see do you see the URL there has changed? This is not what I want. Yes, this is what I want. Okay. This is exactly what I want. What is happening every time I click? Open a new one. Twitter. Let's just say, forget about the name change. Let's see how Tamil Nadu people are feeling right now. Let's say Twitter Tamil Nadu, hashtag Tamil Nadu. Go there. It was quite interesting yesterday when I was experimenting. I just thought I can get that. Let's do a different one. Just say the sentiments of people in Tamil Nadu today, or let's know. Come on, Twitter, you could do better. Okay, what I'm going to do is, looks like there's something event go on. Yeah, got that. Analyze. So there's joy and there's sadness. So we see two emotions. Can you see? Joy and sadness. That's the current predominant emotion. So when we go into this, it's because it sees some word called new, which is like, that is not right. So I'm going to take it off. That is a invalid one. Just go, 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 go. There's the sadness is because of some bad event that has happened. And there's something about getting together. Okay, if you get the right, I'm sorry about it. If you get the right data into it, you will be able to get correct sentiment. Unfortunately, for some reason, when Zoom is on, my copy is like kind of not working the way that I want it to work.
Yes, ma'am, we understand.
Okay, so you say just go in, use this website for tonal analyzer, go to Twitter or Facebook, whatever it
Madam,
is.
we know Tamil Nadu emotions, madam. Tamil Nadu guys are they are not in joy, madam.
Yeah, that's
Especially
what. Yesterday it was like more sad and anger when I was
yes,
crying, like, oh.
especially Coimbatore guys, because the
Yeah.
short form of Coimbatore became Koya.
Yeah, I got the meme today. What somebody sent me in WhatsApp, like, what Koya?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, madam, good, madam. You can
It
proceed, madam.
sounds like Boya. Yes. So that's what I wanted to show. Feel free to go in and check this website. Similarly, Google has also has its own sentiment analysis tools. So it's all out there for students to go and explore. It's only when you integrate this with your system, there's much more complexity involved. So going back to our presentation, that's from me for today. I hope it was of some use to you. It has I've given you some information that's of no, that enlightens you, like was said today morning. Any questions?
Of course, ma'am. Thank you. It was really
Madam, yeah, Bhakia, I'll just finish it off, Bhakia. I have another meeting.
yeah, yes.
Madam, first of all, thank you, madam. You gave a very beautiful insight into marketing. See, most of us were believing that marketing is a conventional area which speaks
Mm,
about more theory and field. But you just illuminated us on the application of analytics in marketing. And I was really carried away by that attribution, madam. Attribution to reach the calculation,
yeah,
attribution to reach. That was really fantastic. And the Audi case study also was real good. So that only because of CRM, I believe that Audi is now one of the leading brand ahead of
absolutely.
BMW and Mercedes Benz. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
thank you for your wonderful session, madam. And I should thank Bhakia for having identified you and your time, madam. Thank you. Now, Bhakia, you can you can have the question answer session. Thank you, madam. I have another meeting. I'm leaving, madam.
Oh, it's very kind. I'm really very thankful for your kind comments, sir. So yeah, so it's a
Thank
pleasure.
you, madam.
Have a good day.
Thank you,
Yeah.
madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Ma'am, thank you. It was really a fantastic presentation with an insightful example of RD and as well as a live example. We will go ahead and take some time for questions now. Just a
Yeah,
reminder,
sure.
be sure to type your questions into the question box in your control panel.
So would I be able to see it? Yeah.
If it is visible for you, you can also view, ma'am. Ma'am, we have a few questions.
Mm-hmm.
The first question is like, how far AI and automation continue to improve in CRM outcomes?
I think that is one of the trendiest thing right now in business, artificial intelligence and analytics. Analytics, to some extent, it's mature in Western world. I'm not sure about the Indian business. I'm sure it is because whenever I come to India, like if I do an online shopping, I've been bombarded with a lot of targeted campaigns. So the analytics is quite it's at a medium mature level. As far as artificial intelligence is concerned, it's a topic that is of interest, that is growing really very fast, that's becoming mature fast, and businesses are tapping into it. If you go into even a mobile phone showroom, etc., they use your um, I'm not sure if it happens in India. The moment you step into, they can read your facial expression, and then they can predict if this person is here to buy a phone or just to do a time pass. You know, it's really very interesting how artificial intelligence is used.
Thank you, ma'am. And we have another one question here. Share
Mhm.
of voice versus social word of mouth. Your
Sorry.
sharing of voice,
Yes.
social word of mouth.
Yes. So
Yes.
um it's quite a Good question, because it depends on how you interpret both of this term. One is share of voice, the other one is word of mouth. So with word of mouth, both of this is kind of means are relatively the same, right? It is it depends on the intention. Okay, word of mouth is like, for example, you give a positive feedback, negative feedback, that's experience. But if it is a share of voice, that means what is the intention, what is the emotion of the person doing this performing this act, that is more important, right? For example, why is Tamil Nadu government changing the names of all the districts now? Is it important? Are we not already in deeper trouble economically and socially? Are the medical systems are unable to cope? What's the point? Why do you have to do this now? Didn't you get a better time to do this? Okay, people are sharing their voice, right? So that's out of anger, out of a lot of other things. So share of voice, a share of something also means why it is done. The intention is there. With word of mouth, it is more like, that's my experience, I'm sharing it. This is my opinion. It could be more deeper. I'd like to get your opinion as well if you interpret it in a different way.
Okay,
I
thank
hope I've answered the question.
you. Yeah, of course, ma'am. And one more question, ma'am. How is CRM and SAP 9 by 3 differs from each other?
CRM is a customer relationship management. SAP is one of the software solutions for CRM. It's just not SAP is not the only company that is providing CRM. There's Microsoft Dynamics. There's a lot of other CRM systems. So CRM is more general. It's like a customer database. It's a technology. Anyone can make solutions for this technology. It could be SAP, it could be Microsoft, it could be Google, it could be me, my own CRM.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Let's move on to a form. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate all respectful faculty members from other institutions, research scholars, and dear students for being here. The fragrance of flowers spreads only in the directions of the wind, but the goodness of a person spreads in all directions. So as our Nithiya ma'am from Australia, who spanned her fabulous time and profound knowledge in CRM with us today in India. Thank you, ma'am, for your influential speech. We are charmed by your sharp fluency. Your words were full of enthusiasm and valuable knowledge. Nevertheless, it's my responsibility to extend a sincere thanks to our head of the department, who is a great motivation and being a belief to make this event together. Finally, I would like to thank our beloved chairperson, respectful chairman, principal, and my colleagues for giving me this opportunity and being a great support. Once again, thank you all. We are going to wind up the session. Stay hygiene and stay safe.
Thank you, ma'am.
See you guys.
Well done.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah.